What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got some major stuff going on here right now that we're going to jump right into to catch you guys up here. Some crazy stuff. Will we see a shift? Will we see a shift here? This comes as we've seen a lot of recent headlines that new polls that, well, first, I'll show you this. Majority of Americans don't want Biden or Trump to run again in 2024. A new CNBC survey shows, should there be a changing of the guard? Either president elected would be the oldest president ever. Yeah. No thanks is how the majority of the public responded with this new CNBC All-American Economic Survey when asked if President Biden or former President Donald Trump should run again for president. The survey found that 61% of the public think Trump should not seek the presidency, compared with only 30% believe he should. And 70% say Biden should not run for a second term, with just 19% supporting a second run. Wow, very significant here for both of these. Substantial numbers in each politician's party prefer their names not be on the ballot, including 37% of Republicans who don't want Trump to run, along with 61% of independents and 88% of Democrats. For Biden, 57% of Democrats said he shouldn't stand for office in 2024, along with 66% of independents and 86% of Republicans. Now, in another poll, I think this is the first time we've seen this. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, a Republican, tops Trump by 23 points, 23% among Republicans for the Republican candidate in a new poll. I think this is the first poll I've seen where he's actually bested Trump to potentially be the Republican candidate. Here's the details on this. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis leads former President Trump by 23 points among Republicans in a hypothetical Republican presidential primary, according to a new poll released Tuesday by USA Today and Suffolk University. Found that 56% of Republicans and Republican leading voters would prefer Ron DeSantis instead, while only 33% of Republicans would support Trump. So I think this is the first time I've seen this where Trump was not the leading Republican candidate. More than 60% said they want a nominee who will continue Trump's policies but is not Trump, while 31% want the former president to run. So that's a big difference there. 60% said they don't want Trump, and only 31% said they do want Trump. Quote, Republicans and conservative independents increasingly want Trumpism without Trump. You guys can let me know your thoughts here on this. The poll also found that Trump's favorable rating among Republicans dropping from 75% in October to 64% in December. His unfavorable rating has also risen from 18% to 23% in that time. Now, for the Democratic side, pollsters found President Biden leading with a hypothetical matchup versus Trump, 47% to 40%. DeSantis led Biden in the poll by about 4 points. So that would mean that right now, if Biden went against Trump, people would prefer Biden over Trump 47-40. If the election were to happen now in this group of people that were polled, okay? Obviously, they didn't poll the whole country. They just, grouped a group of people here, okay? But if DeSantis was the Republican candidate, DeSantis was actually the leader with 47% of the vote to 43% for Biden. So that's quite a bit of a swing there. That's a big swing. That's a plus 7% for the Republicans if DeSantis was the candidate with 47% instead of 40%. Biden goes from 47% down to 43%. So that's a big difference there. That's a big difference there. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? Of course, you're going to see some people in the comments saying, I can't believe people would vote for Trump, or I can't believe people would vote for Biden. You're going to see this every time, just like when Trump was president, or just like when Obama was president. You would see people, saying, I can't believe people would vote for Obama, or I can't believe people would vote for Trump, or even Bush. I can't believe people would vote for Bush, or whoever the president is. So there's always a large subset of the population that are going to go to the polls and they're going to vote Democrat, Democrat, Democrat all the way down the list, or Republican, Republican, Republican all the way down the list. There's a lot of people that do that. A lot of people that do that. But as you can tell, this poll is kind of a perfect example that not everybody does that. Not everybody does that. And the candidate in this case, this is an early glimpse here, could be a big deciding factor. So some people may be tiring of Trump with all the, the January 6th stuff, the classified document stuff, the election was stolen stuff, um, all this different stuff here. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. People might be tiring of Biden with the, his age. Both presidents would be the oldest presidents ever. They would both be in their 80s. Well, Biden's already 80, and Trump's about 3 years younger than him. Both would be well into their 80s 2 years from now, and then plus 4 years of a term. So both of them would be well into their 80s if either one runs and or wins. Yeah. And then also a lot of people blame Biden for the inflation, whether right or wrongly so. I mean, again, it is what it is. Yeah, and a lot of people blame this economic downturn on Biden. Again, everybody has their own kind of opinion on a lot of things here. So, yeah, honestly, both parties may do better at the polls if this is kind of just my opinion. Both parties actually might perform better at the polls if they had a new candidate. Especially because both guys are going to be in their 80s, and a lot of people would just have kind of a not everybody, but some people just have a negative opinion about these two presidents for whatever reason. Remember that there's always a lot of the other side, whether it's Republicans or Democrats, are constantly bashing again, the other guy, whether it's Republican or Democrat, no matter who it is. The other side's always constantly, doing a propaganda campaign against one guy or the other, trying to make them look bad, saying this is their fault or that's their fault, this is their fault, that's their fault, whether it is their fault or not, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. So, and a lot of people buy into it, whether it's right, wrong, or not. Part of my, part of what I try to do on this channel is show you guys the truth. If it has data, if it has to do with like numbers or actually like information, from like the government or something like that, something that we can see, like years of history or something like that. I like to show you guys that. Now, if it's a statement from a president or something, I'll show you that as well. Like if it's something that Trump said, like an actual statement, I'll show you that. If it's something that Biden said, if it's a speech from Biden, I'll show you that, so you guys can hear it directly from yourself as well, so you guys can make your own opinions. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. But it's interesting how this is already kind of front and center here of who's going to be the next president. I think people are kind of already like looking forward to that a little bit. So we will see. We will see. Also, Senator Joe Manchin says he has no intention of leaving the Democratic Party. This is as Senator Kirsten Sinema just announced that she was leaving the Democratic Party and going independent. Joe Manchin says, not right away here. Joe Manchin says he has no intention of leaving the Democratic Party and becoming an independent or Republican just yet, at least. As Senator Kirsten Sinema announced last week that she would no longer identify as a Democrat. There's interesting words there. Identify as a Democrat. Manchin, however, declined to rule out changing his party affiliation at some point in the future. Dun dun dun. Right? Joe Manchin's theme song. I'll look at all of these things. I've always looked at all of these things, but I have no intention of doing anything right now, he told reporters on Monday. Whether I do something later, I can't tell you what the future is going to be. I can only tell you where I am and my mindset. Manchin and Kirsten Sinema are up for re-election in the Senate in 2024. Remember, senators serve 6-year terms, so they're not up for re-election every year. About a third of them are up for re-election. And Manchin and Kirsten Sinema are both up for re-election in this next Senate re-election cycle. Manchin says, I want to work with Kirsten every day, the same as I have before. That's if they both get reelected. You guys can let me know if you think they will. He later said, I tremendously respect her decision and I wish her the best. Now, if you look here back in 2018, which was when Joe Manchin was his last election in the Senate, it was a pretty close election. It was only a couple points here, and he only won by 19,000 votes. And this was before maybe a lot of his controversial decisions and, upholding a lot of the Democratic Party stuff that he's done in the last year or two. Remember, he is considered a Democrat. And also remember that West Virginia is considered a Republican state. So will Republicans vote for him? Will Democrats vote for him? Would people vote for the other person on purpose? Remains to be seen. Remember, Joe Manchin, though, is a West Virginia staple. He used to be the governor of West Virginia, and he's been a figure in West Virginia for a long time. Now, Senator Kirsten Sinema's election results. This was her first time in the Senate. So, and again, this is before she was really, really controversial. Her approval numbers in Arizona have been very, very poor. I haven't seen very many Arizonians speak very highly of her since in the last year or two. We'll see what happens, but you can see here she won her results 50% to 47.6%. But again, now she's left the Democratic Party. She's an independent. She's been getting a lot of Republican donors. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Now, remember that she's an independent. Now, remember, Senator Bernie Sanders is an independent as well. But, he gets a lot of Democratic backing per se, kind of. The Democrats aren't really too fond of Kirsten Sinema right now. So they might not back her at all. They literally might. I think this might happen. We'll see. I think that the Democrats might put another challenger to challenge her for the primary, and might back another challenger for Democrats, and might push that, and might not even fund Kirsten Sinema, and might hope that another Democratic candidate for the Democrats wins the primary, and she doesn't even win the primary. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I think Kristen Sinema's got a harder uphill road than Joe Manchin, but again, Joe Manchin's had a very close vote as well. He only won by 19,000 votes, and that was before. I mean, look at how much Joe Manchin's been in the news. Well, but again, on the other hand, a lot of these people, they win their elections every year. Look at Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell. They somehow pull it off every time they're up for re-election. So you let me know your thoughts here in the comments. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, it's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new videos that come out here on our YouTube channel that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, thanks for liking and sharing these videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And you can also click here to see a deal that the White House is trying to make right now to send out checks for $3,000 to tens of millions of Americans. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.